So I haven't uploaded in a while. Um, there's two main reasons for that. Um, and they're complicate. They complicate each other, rather. Um, First of all, I have a job now, which I have this occasional job, of, like election watcher, which is just a time wasting job. Honestly, it's just like 14 or so hours of just nothing. But this job is, it's a daily, pretty much daily thing, so it's not that complicated. But given my second complication, which is depression, oncoming dissociative depression in my case, the job itself is easy enough, but social interaction right now is just so hard, especially to people that are only just starting to get used to me and don't know me when I'm depressed. And I'm not sunshine and rainbows kind of person when it comes to my depression. Not that I ever really am that much, but I smile less. I get, even right now, it's hard for me to talk in anything emotionally projecting wise that could expend a little bit of energy. For a normal person, expends a lot of energy from smiling, speaking with normal affect, projecting my voice, not coming off callous. I have to work. I can't just not work on those things. So when a depression hits, especially in the beginning of the job and everything else, I was just getting the ropes of it, and now it's easy enough the job, but I have to make sure I have the energy expenditure to socialize right, if that makes sense. I mean, it's not like I need to become best friends with all my coworkers, but I can't piss them off. Not that I'm worried about that, but I do worry about coming off, as I said, callous and such, and other things. So I've been spending a lot of my energy, keeping up with and socializing with my friends to, make up for the fact that I have to work extra hard outside. So yeah, I haven't really been uploading much. I did actually block 2 of my videos I did upload because I didn't delete them. I privated them because I may well change my mind at some point, but I don't know. I at least want to have them, if not. But in any case, depression is definitely, it was coming in. It's definitely here. And I'm past the point where I really think it's helpful to put in a hell of a lot of the fight, as they say, at least for me. I mean, giving into it doesn't help, and I gotta put in some effort to, I've been doing little things, like I've been dressing. I mean, this isn't an example of that, but most days I've been dressy, and taking extra care of my appearance in general. I know I haven't shaved in a while, but I don't know. I have a baby face, so I kind of just, that's a separate thing. But beyond that, and doing things like that. But in terms of, I used to try to think my way out of a depression, it's a nice thought, but it doesn't really do much in the long run. It only really burns me out, and if anything, prolongs the whole experience. So I've just gotten to a point where I'm just like, okay, I'm depressed right now. It sucks. I don't want to be here, and nobody wants me to be here. Not only just because people that care about me, but it's not fun for anybody when I'm depressed. But not getting anywhere, fretting and dramatizing and being annoyed. I just gotta live and go to work and hang out with my friends, and like, that's also a good thing why I didn't upload a video during that time, because it's easy for me to do like I did my last channel, just perseverate and be frustrated about the very fact that I'm depressed, rather than just living life and maybe depressed biologically, but not depressed ideologically. Because one thing I only have so much of an ability to control, but the other I at least have a bit more control of. So I can't change the fact that I'm bipolar. That's cards I've been given, but I can at least change how I look at it, as they say, and it's true. So that's what I'm doing. But in the meantime, it's just it's little things right now. Like, it's the little things that I do, but it's also the little things that I notice that start to, I guess, whatever framework you're working with will be necessarily the framework that you look in, but and appreciate. But I don't like how I sound sometimes when I don't sound like it as much when because I try to reserve my energy for the times that matter, which is work and when I'm with friends as well, to some degree. But during the time where I'm like, this video is not, that I don't necessarily have to come off perfectly, because it's just a video, I'm not talking to anybody but everybody, but I naturally go into a more kind of effectless and also borderline painkiller sounding level way and on such, and I don't like it. Like, I'm trying to change that here, like over there, but like, it's just every time I try to keep this tone, and then slowly I go back to talking like this, and now I'm kind of purposely doing a little bit, so it's a little exaggerated, but now it's not. Now it's back to how this is just easy, and I don't know. It's a tightrope walk, because I also can't, it doesn't help me at this point for people to be overly worried about me, if that makes sense. Like, okay, I appreciate that people care about me, and I don't want them to stop caring about me. But if I don't keep up with a certain thing, it only makes people treat me with, kid gloves, and I don't want that either. So I can't. I have to also not get in the habit of talking like this and such, to the point where I do it with everyone and everything, because then people start treating me a certain way, and I can't get shit done, and I can't talk to people, and I'm even more alone than I would be otherwise. So it's just not a habit I want to get into either. But I don't know. I It's just annoying though. Like, I know I said I can't, and it's true. I can't change the fact that I'm bipolar, but it's like I'm always waiting for it to happen because it's gonna happen eventually. And you could say, oh, you're bringing it on by that virtue, but I spent my first like 6 years, maybe less so, maybe like 3 years with the disorder, just not accepting that eventually depression was going to come, and that only left me ill prepared. Didn't do shit for it not to come. So it's not like it doesn't do anything to feel like it won't happen. So I have to accept the inevitability that's going to happen because it doesn't go away. And I've only gotten better to some degree. I mean, it got worse after 21. Can't explain why. I don't fully know, but I've gotten better in that weird construct and gotten past it. But in terms of depression lasting, like, it had an intensity of complete detachment to some degree. Not complete, but very detached. Long time. It's some of the worst. But I've gotten better in that area of dealing with it. But outside that, it's just I've gotten better after that period, but it's still a struggle, as it will necessarily be. And I just what also upsets me regarding the little things is I always miss being satisfied with things when I get this way, or start to get so. Like, I could have feasibly what any other day would be the best day ever. Like, hung out with a person I really wanted to hang out with, and we talked about a range of topics. We, I don't know, played a really fun board game or whatever, and we went to a park. It was a beautiful day. We saw fucking geese and shit. And then I got home. I'm like, I'm alone now. Or I could be reasonably happy with a piece of writing I was writing. And then just write it. And I'm always like, I think it's just the case of writing in general with anybody, It's a little bit of a quick burn every time, but still, like, it's not even like, if I am happy with it, it's not just like I'm only happy with it for a day even. It's like, as soon as I finish writing it, if I was happy with it, it's at best just something in the past now, like the second I stop writing it. And things just are very ephemeral right now. Untangible to some degree. They're not, I feel like they're just out of reach. And like when I don't get a chance to talk to my friends, they don't respond back to me within a few days. Right now, it's like, oh well, I guess that relationship's over, so I have to move on in my brain. And then they'll call me and they'll be like, oh, I guess it's not, and That's me. That's not just, like, you can't explain that away with just depression itself. That's me being somewhat pessimistic as a person as well, added in, but it's just, I wouldn't be as pessimistic outside this. I thought actually a couple of weeks ago that I ended the friendship accidentally by saying something wrong, and I know that's not in of itself an uncommon feeling, but this is like a friendship that I've had for years, and it's very strong, that under normal circumstances you would never think would just end right away by something that you can't even really, in my case, point to exactly what happened. And of course it was fine in the end. It's mostly probably made up in my head, but it's just when things, when there's ever any kind of distance or mild something I can't point to, my assumption right now is, oh, that thing's over. And I'm sure to some degree it's my brain's way of handling the dissonance of not being able to understand. Well, I won't understand. It's just done. Stop thinking about it. It's done. Put it away. Compartmentalize. This was a thing that used to be, And it's a big reason why I feel like I'm avoiding, like, making new friends right now, which is true. But largely because I'm depressed in of itself too. Like, I can't connect that well to especially new people, and even people that I normally can. It's hard to some degree. But even outside that, like, I know from past experience, any new friendship I make during this period, any little thing I'm going to assume either I'm going to give up, or I'm going to assume the other person is giving up, which is a little bit of projection on my part, probably. But that's why, like, I'm not bothering making new friendships, even though I kind of want to, because my closest friends they live far away from me now. With both of them, I have a phone conversational thing with them. We talk, like, at least, like, with both of them, I talk at least, like, every other week, usually every 5 times a week with each of them, honestly. Not always long conversations, but I have other friends near me, but not as close, but also just, they're all busy, and even my other friends are busy, but they're just more like me. When they're busy, they are just more extroverted, not less, in some ways, and I'm depressive, so it's getting a little bit less in my case, but it's still my instinct, because they've kind of indoctrinated me in that way, and it personally helps me, because even when I'm depressed, I find it helpful to get outside of my head, to socialize, even if it's hard. But most people where I live, it's just not really the MO, which I understand. But yeah, so I would like to make new friends, but I know it's really, not only is it hard because of my depression, it's just not smart because of the whole thing. And that's a whole conversation for a different day. That could be its own video, many parts to it. But in any case, it's just, I feel like I need to find something new to ground myself in, honestly, because I just feel like I need a change of emotional scenery in some way. It doesn't have to be a big change, although maybe it could be, I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna change who I am, or, I mean, as as I said in a different video, I really don't think it's possible to a large extent. Even so, or, you know, largely where my avenue in life right now overall. I'm not gonna change direction, but I feel like I need either a new hobby or new something. I don't know. I also need new glasses because these are my mom's. I said in a different take, but I feel like that was a take that I didn't keep. But if I did, I'm sorry for apologizing. But it's a weak prescription for me, but better for nothing. But yeah, I need new, because and not like a new object, like a new car or something, like a new something that actually would change how I feel regarding something. I don't know. I'm gonna use a haircut maybe eventually too, but I don't know how much that's gonna change. But in closing, I guess, in some ways, I'm optimistic though for this point in my life because I could recognize that I'm at least verging to some degree on disassociation, a little bit, but the episode I had, which lasted from September of 2020 to like either December of 2022 or January of 2023. Ooh, there was it's nothing like that. And I can say for certain because that was fairly immediate after its onset that it started to get that bad. I say fairly immediate. At least my bipolar disorder doesn't happen overnight, but it was pretty quickly. And I can be pretty happy at least that I found ways of handling it. We're not alone. My friends and family have been in good help, and the support system outside that too. But yeah, I just figured I'd make a video, do something to do. But yeah, happy holidays. Blessed whenever you guys watch this.